focusing on TV advertising, looking at essentially who the new entrants have been, what sort of new developments we have seen in this area, and what new ad formats are coming up and emerging, and what new business models are coming. And the second part is going to be mobile advertising. It's that pesky little ad niche area that seems to be rearing its head, and Kendra's going to be covering that. I still haven't quite figured out why in the world I would want advertising on my mobile phone, let alone get coupons on my phone and pay for them, right? I'm still old school. I'd rather spend the Sunday afternoon watching NFL game, cutting coupons from the newspapers, and kind of kicking it back. So in the interest of time, I'm skipping a few slides here. We'll go directly to the key trends. What have the key trends have in the TV advertising space? And a lot of that plays directly into growth in video on demand. Comcast, for example, this is an example I had made reference to earlier in the morning as well. They're serving up close to 1 billion VOD streams a month, and over 90% of those are not monetized, and even if they're monetized, that part of those happen to be subscription-based VOD. So there's a clear scope here for the operators to really leverage that huge content that's being time shifted and monetize it and remonetize it if possible. And that's what we keep hearing in our conversations with the service providers. And we've talked to the likes of Time Warner Cable, Cox Communications, and Comcast, and all of them, their consensus is that video on demand is going to be the platform for them to try out interactive advertising. And video on demand particularly is appealing because they have control over the content more so than in live broadcast. So this gives them more flexibility on what sort of ad formats they can pursue. Interestingly enough, on the telco side, Verizon stated that they're not really interested in pursuing addressable advertising or targeted advertising at this moment. They believe direct marketing is still the way to go, and there's nothing that comes close to direct marketing as far as targeting or addressability is concerned. And AT&T, we really haven't been able to get a good feel for where they're headed. And part of that possibly could be attributed to the fact that they still have close to 1.2 million subscribers, which is not critical mass enough to gain the attention of the major advertisers. So they still have a way to go in that aspect. The Dish network from the satellite DTH providers has been a little more active than DirecTV, and they've been working with NBD and incorporating NVIDIA's Avatar technology into their set-top boxes. DirecTV, what they're doing is taking a much more gradual and phased approach. What they're doing is trying to grow their DVR base or connected DVR base, so that way they can start experimenting with some of the ad insertions at a much more granular and local level. But they still have a long way to go, and I think it's still a ways off. Looking at the 2008 ad expenditure, a couple of key takeaways. The traditional media still holds a considerable amount of the market share. Obviously, the internet or online advertising has been the fastest growing segment, but the fastest fading obviously have been the newspapers and the news media and the radio. But one thing that the news media has done right to sort of counter the loss is grow their online presence and start looking at promoting bundle sales of ad slots, and that's given them a little bit of a success. As far as the competition, we've heard a lot of comparisons between TV advertising and online advertising. So before we compare those two, let's look at where online advertising is really growing. Online video content consumption is growing, but ad revenue for online video isn't really growing at the same rate or even keeping pace with online advertising isn't keeping pace with online video consumption. Where it's really growing in search. And IAB, in a recent report, reported that the search-based advertising went from 43% in 2007 to taking up 46% of the total online ad revenue. So there's a clear increase there. So what is the takeaway here? One, there is a significant difference here between the way advertising is viewed in TV and the way advertising is being viewed in search. And that is the way I'd like to put it is push versus pull. In search, I'm actually going in actively looking for the information I need, and that's where the search engines like Google and Google's AdWords, AdSense, so on and so forth come into play, and so does Yahoo and the other search engines. But in TV, it's more of a push environment. The ad is played out, and